Welcome to a new episode of Cooking Technique Tuesday. Today we are going to make 2-ingredient dough apple fritters. It's a Weight Watcher recipe. So I've got some powdered sugar, a little bit of, 2 tablespoons of yogurt and sprinkles. That's going to be the topping. So what we're going to do first is, I kind of did this backwards. I really should have put the flour in there, but that's okay. So I've got my self-rising flour. I've got a couple tablespoons of powdered sugar just to make that sweet. And then I've got some cinnamon. So I'm just going to whisk this together to incorporate it. Nice and easy, just so it doesn't kind of fly everywhere. But you just want to kind of get everything mixed together. And I like the fact we're using powdered sugar too, because it'll a little bit more evenly distribute than sugar within this mixture. So what I'm going to do next, I'm going to set this up just so you can see me because I need both hands for this. So we're going to go ahead and mix together the dough. I've also got some vanilla. So I'll go ahead and throw that in there. I'm going to combine this off camera and then we'll add this and then we'll add in the apple. So let me go ahead and set up the next angle, but I'm excited for this one. Alrighty, so I mixed together the yogurt and the vanilla. It smells amazing. So I'm going to go ahead and put about half of this in there to incorporate, especially with the cinnamon. It's going to smell really good. So this is for Chrissy. So shout out to Chrissy. She had asked for an apple fritter recipe, so I found this one from Weight Watchers. I'll be honest, I haven't had an apple fritter in a very long time. All right, so I'm going to add the rest of it. So once we incorporate all of this in, I'm just kind of carefully folding it in mostly so I don't spill the flour everywhere. We're going to add in our finely chopped up apple. And for mine, some of it's finely chopped and some of it isn't because I kind of wanted to keep it a little thicker in some parts. I like the difference in texture personally, so because otherwise we could have just added applesauce. So there we go. And what I like to do is I usually work my 2-ingredient dough with this spoon, and I like to kind of, as you can see, kind of mush it in together, and it slowly starts to incorporate. Oh, I gotta say, it smells really good with the vanilla and the cinnamon in this. Yummy. Alrighty. So now let's add in our apple. I haven't really mixed 2-ingredient dough with this, or like with anything necessarily. I usually use it, like I'll put fillings in it, so I'm kind of excited to see. I think I might have done a little over a cup of the apple that I called for, but whatever. It'll taste good. All right, so since most of this is incorporated, make sure to get it all. There we go. I'm gonna go ahead and knead it just a little bit. And then what we're gonna do is we're going to cut this into 8 pieces. There we go. I'm gonna add a little bit of flour to the top because this is a little bit wet. So stick to the 1 cup of apple, people, because I definitely used a little bit more, but that's okay. But as you can see, it's coming together pretty nicely. A little bit more. There we go. Yeah, I'm probably gonna have to add a little bit more. That's okay though. All right, so let me, off camera, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm going to get a little bit more flour just because that was all I had. So I'm gonna stop this real quick. Be right back. Alrighty, so I added about 2 tablespoons of flour. And you know what? I don't know that it's actually the apple. So in the recipe, it calls for 1 cup of the flour to 3/4 of a cup plus 2 tablespoons of the yogurt. And I will say this. Whenever I make 2-ingredient dough, it used to be like the 1-to-1 ratio, and I always found it was way too wet. So I always do for like pizza, calzones, etc. I do 1 cup of the flour to 3/4 of a cup of the yogurt. I don't think it needed those 2 extra tablespoons. I'm gonna leave the recipe because it's a Weight Watcher recipe, but I don't think it needs the 2 tablespoons. So there we go. But as you can see, couple extra tablespoons of flour, and it came out great. So I'm gonna divide this into 8 pieces, about equal. We'll have to mess with that just a little bit. There we go. So all we're gonna do is really, well, I'm gonna get a little bit extra flour on my hands, but what we're gonna do is roll them up and then just kind of smash them. So let me go ahead and bring my prepared pan over here, and we'll get them plated up to go in the oven. Alrighty, so I have my sheet tray with parchment paper and cooking spray, and I'm just gonna put a little bit of this of flour, mostly for my hands, because we just don't want the dough sticking too much. And one thing we used to do in culinary school, as you can see, I'm kind of shaping it in the form of a ball in between my middle finger and my thumb. This is how we usually do rolls too. And again, I'm a grandma baker, not a perfect pastry chef. But there we go, there's one. And get a little bit more flour on my hands. And this one's a little bit bigger, so I'm gonna add, there we go. Easy, easy, easy. So basically I'm gonna go ahead and put these in the oven. They don't have to be perfectly circular or anything like that. I'm gonna go ahead and finish the rest of this off camera. So we're gonna bake these for about 20 minutes. I want it 375 for about 20 minutes. I always like to check stuff like about 15. Every oven is different. Basically what we're looking for is a little bit of browning on top, a little bit of browning underneath. So I will see you in about 20 minutes or so. Alrighty, so we have, this is about as brown as I wanted it to get, clearly. So I know it could have been a little bit browner on top, but whatever. So we have our apple fritters. I've let them cool for just a little bit. So now I've got the rest of my powdered sugar, and then also 2 tablespoons of Greek yogurt. So they don't mention anything about other liquid except for, you know, the yogurt. I have a little bit of water here off to the side, just in case. But I like this idea of using the, for the frosting, using the yogurt and the powdered sugar. And actually, ooh, I think I like the, yeah, never mind, that's a good consistency. Yay, that's exciting. I was a little bit worried, but hey, we're good. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead, open up the sprinkles. I'm gonna put just a little bit of this on top. And I'll do the rest of them here in a few, but I really want to take a bite of this. So there we go. Okay, let's see. Yeah, with the apple, it's really good. So, we have our apple fritter. 10 out of 10, we definitely recommend. I'm gonna go eat this off camera. I'll see you next Cooking Technique Tuesday.